Hello, my name is JorgeTores and this is my brand research project about Lululemon. Lululemon is a Canadian brand based in Vancouver. They sell yoga clothes for men and women. Lululemon attempts to provide a unique customer education focus. The first slide is the documentation of research planning. The main purpose of the research is to generate insights from customers, analyzing qualitative data about their experience with Lululemon. In order to get those insights, we need consumer data to understand what our consumers want and need. For this, we need to go in the natural environment where consumers are expressing their wants and needs. The findings will be used to create managerial recommendations to increase brand equity. And we will show the elements of differentiation from other brands. The entry. The data was collected from main social media platforms of the brand, product review websites, and interviews. The first data collection was from Influencer, which is a product discovery and review platform for customers. This platform presents deep opinions from customers, providing a natural communication between customers without the brand in any intervention. Also from Trustpilot, which is a highly used consumer review website. Then we use Instagram as main source with almost 2 million followers. This is the main platform of the brand, where the main interactions occur with its customers. Facebook was also used and is just behind Instagram with a bit more than 2 million followers, followed by YouTube and LinkedIn with less followers but different content. This social media help to gather the qualitative data. The consumer group is people who had an experience with the brand. This experience could be positive, negative, or neutral. Some data was excluded for several reasons. One reason was that the data was too old for this study. Also, some of the data did not appear as authentic and all the data looked to be manipulated. The sources used in this study were explained previously, and they were authentic, recent, and relevant for this study. Also, some of the data was found, but there was not an option to ask for permission to use it. Therefore, the data was not collected for this study. The collection of the data from different sources allowed us to review different groups of users, making our story more extent and relevant. These pictures are some examples of the data collected. In the first one, we can see a person talking about a store. The other one is an interaction between the brand and consumer, and another product reviews. These are just some examples that you can find also in the appendix. And the more sources of information, we got more data and we got better insights. The analysis and interpretations. This consumer data was collected using ethnography, which is a qualitative research method to study virtual communities to understand the meaning of social interactions. The data was collected with two methods. The first was observation. As a complete observer, there was not actual involvement with the brand or the individuals who wrote the messages. The other method was a qualitative interview with two users of Lululemon, obtaining the permission to become part of this study and minimizing social distance, creating a trustful environment which allowed to generate better responses. For the interviews, I used a flexible unstructured interview, allowing more improvisations and more insights. These are the main advantages of ethnography that I explained previously. It's relevant, detailed, right context, timely, effective, and efficient. When the data was reviewed using the grounded theory, where repeat ideas or repeat comments were detected, this data was grouped into different concepts. As more data was founded and reviewed, the concepts became categories or themes that are the different findings. Those comments are called point of difference and are perceived in some way for the brand as unique. These points of difference are part of the brand positioning. The main purpose is to find those differentials that Lululemon has on the consumer responses, which is called brand equity. Ethics and member checks. All the ethical standards were used for all the data collected, according with ethnography, conventions, and the policies from QT. Before the interviews, I asked for permissions and explained why the interview was important and how the information was going to be used in this research. Also, this is an example of the QT requirement sheet, which also is in the appendix of this research. This requirement sheet was used in all the data collection, even in the interviews. When the data was collected, it was informed that the code of ethics was used, which include the right to withdraw, the right to refuse to answer any questions, informed consent, voluntary participations in the interviews. Brand community. This study shows how consumers feel identified with the brand. This is called brand community. All these comments were found online in the different platforms that we previously described. Also, we can see two pictures of yoga classes in the right that the brand created for the consumers, increasing the engagement between the brand and the consumers. Also, there is one clear example of a positive comment from the running campaign. This brand community is being active online with all the online posts, but also was found offline. The example of this is the yoga classes for the consumers. Some comments were more intense and deep than others. Also, some other activities were more frequent to the consumers, and this helped the brand to get a better brand community at all. All of these actions will direct the consumer to engage more with Lululemon, being loyal, investing time as giving comments, energy, and money as purchasing the products of the brand. This brand community has two main dimensions, which are intensity and activity. Intensity is the deep comments, and activity is how frequent they comment, all the customers. With the dimensions are more intense or are more frequently used, the better brand community. Satisfaction. This is the first finding. Many of the comments showed a positive or sometimes negative point of view about the products. Those comments were generally about the quality of the products and the sizes. However, these comments go beyond just the quality of sizes. Lululemon is doing great in quality, but consumers are also happy with other things, like the yoga activity previously described. That is why satisfaction is the first theme and the first finding. In other words, satisfaction is achieved when consumers realize that the brand is giving more benefit than just a positive purchasing experience. They receive a great positive experience, and when this happens, they will continue to buy the brand. Lululemon should focus in increasing the satisfaction of the customers, providing more activities, moving the price as a secondary thing, and bringing more campaigns like the running campaign that creates satisfactions among consumers. There were some comments that show that the pricing is not a big deal, and the money invested in these good clothes is worth every penny. And to achieve this, Lululemon must start working on different areas such as salespeople, the atmosphere of the stores, locations, and so on. And the main comments about this satisfaction finding was about the value of money, the prices, the poor or good customer services, running campaign, the product quality, and the product performance with the activities. Brand personality. The second finding is brand personality, which was identified as the experiences of the consumers with marketing activities of Lululemon. For example, one of the cases that was identified is the response that Lululemon gave to a client on Instagram, supporting the comment on the marketing campaign. The client was satisfied and excited by that action of the brand. We can see it in the right here. Also, the running campaign gave a new twist to the brand, making it more down to earth. sincere, and competent, which are part of the brand personality elements. Additionally, it's important to mention that all the marketing efforts for Lululemon affect the brand personality, either positively or negatively. In this case, they were much more positive, which speak of Lululemon having a strong brand personality. The study also found that some customers view Lululemon as a superior brand, with unique and better characteristics than other brands, meaning that the brand is getting positive advantages that other brands cannot provide. This research found that the customer look at the brand as a friend, which is extremely positive because it means that the consumer feels passionate and with a self-connection with the brand. Innovation and adaptability. The last relevant finding was the innovation that Lululemon has. This innovation was achieved and mainly founded in the running campaign. The marketing team found changes in consumer tastes and in order to remain leaders in the market in innovation. They keep doing innovation in their social media platforms for being those leaders. They launched a running campaign which was successfully achieved with numerous and positive comments through the community. It's important to mention that Lululemon showed adaptability when the yoga consumers were not enough for the brand and they wanted to get another consumer group. They target now the runners. Managerial implications. This story suggests that the three findings provide a positive performance to Lululemon, with a few negative aspects that the brand is aware of, which are not affecting the brand in a large degree. The brand faces new challenges every day that generate different outcomes due to the marketing efforts of the brand. All of this is called brand equity. The managers need to keep this brand equity positive, creating a convenient environment for the employees to engage with the brand. The main component of the brand equity is the added value, which Lemon is successfully achieving with all the three findings. Lululemon possesses a strong brand personality with satisfaction to their customers, and also the brand is constantly innovating. Due to this study, the marketing strategies can be targeted in the same direction using these three themes as main objectives in order to increase the brand equity of Lululemon. The long-term vision is about the brand that needs to focus the marketing strategies to remain competitive, focus on the consumer wants and needs, using these three findings as a main focuses. Lastly, it's important to mention that to be effective, Lululemon needs a long-term vision that we talked recently. This allows to have changes in the marketing plan due to consumer needs and wants, which is closely related to the innovation. Additionally, this long-term vision will maintain a positive relation with customers and equity over time. These positive results of the study should be shared among the managers team to engage with the different employees. Thank you. All the findings you can be found in the appendix.